Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Denice Scary Show. I'm thinking about the fact that this day next week, all of us will be thanking God during our Thanksgiving Day celebrations for America, for the United States of America. And I thought to begin to kick off the Thanksgiving celebration that we'll enjoy next Thursday at this time, I wanted to share something that doesn't seem to be getting much play in the media these days. In fact, I only found one positive article, one very positive article about the fact that another American has been freed from an overseas prison. So in Business Insider, and then, of course, in a news report on Fox News, these two sources. In fact, I'm going to ask my producer to bring up the picture. You have an Australian, Timothy Weeks. So if you're looking at this, if you're on Facebook or you're watching it on YouTube, Australian Timothy Weeks is on the left and the American, Kevin King, is on the right. And the Trump administration officials have been working with the Afghan government in negotiations with the Taliban. And I just want to say to American Kevin C. King, 63 years of age, welcome back to America. I understand on Tuesday he actually walked out of that prison. I understand he had to be flown out, and both of them landed in Qatar, Doha, Qatar, just the other day. And they're having to undergo medical treatment. You can just imagine if you had been imprisoned by the Taliban for over 3 years, considering the malnutrition and torture that they have undergone, it's got to be quite an ordeal. But again, this Thanksgiving 2019, I want to say to all the Americans, ladies and gentlemen, I thought it was really important to note today that since Donald J. Trump has become president, we have at least 20 Americans that I know of that have been released from foreign prisons. And I just think it's incredible. We saw that American that had been released from a Venezuelan president, the 3 Americans out of that dreadful communist controlled country, North Korea, and on it goes. I'd like you to still keep in your thoughts and prayers as we thank God for America on this Thanksgiving 2019 for those Americans who are still in captivity, particularly those that are still imprisoned inside Iran. I know of at least 6 Americans that are still in prison. Please bring them to the attention of your synagogue or your church and pray for their immediate release. And you say, well, what about the tremendous price that the United States may pay for having worked to see this American and Australian released? What about those 3 individuals that are part of the Haqqani Network? Haqqani Network is a terrorist organization that works with and cooperates with the Taliban in Afghanistan in order to get those 2 Westerners out of prison. We had to give them 3 of the Haqqani leaders. I say this, and I say thank God that we've got an American and an Australian back home. With regards to the Haqqani leaders, it's just the price we have to pay. And I wanted you to hear a perspective by General Jack Keane. We took this from the Fox News Network. Let's play that video.
Take Americans and others so they can negotiate the release of their prisoners. That's their motivation. But clearly, getting back our American and getting the Australian back is very important to our people and to their families, and certainly our government has played a role in this negotiation. What is key here, and what the Taliban are so concerned about, is Hans Haqqani, who is one of the 3 that have been in detention. He's been in detention since 2014. His brother is the head of the Haqqani Network, and his father founded the Haqqani Network. And in the Taliban structure, his brother is number 2. So that's why they want this back. Now, The good news here is the Afghan government has been involved in this negotiation with the Taliban, with the United States having a light touch on it. And that's a good thing. Now, could that possibly lead to further negotiations, Julie, between the Afghan government and the Taliban? Hopefully so. That is the kind of negotiations that should take place. I totally agree with President Trump pulling the plug on the negotiations the United States was having with the Taliban. In my mind, that was absolutely going nowhere, because at the end of the day, you have to negotiate with the government of Afghanistan, which is running the country, not with the United States. The United States.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Weeks and King, who have been kidnapped at gunpoint as they walked out of the American university in Afghanistan, are now free. And the Denise Scary Show would like to thank President Donald J. Trump for working very hard to get these people free. Again, we have not seen this number of Americans freed from captivity in foreign countries since the advent of the Trump administration. I'd also like to say, in light of Thanksgiving Day coming up, I was reading another report, and I'd like everyone to think about, as you know, we have all had to undergo these impeachment proceedings by the Democrats, a very partisan play, which is, of course, as you know, very deeply disturbing to me. I remember the Obama administration did lots of things to manipulate foreign governments. I think about the tens of thousands of dollars that the Obama administration spent to try to oust Benjamin Netanyahu, the former or the current prime minister of the state of Israel. I think of George Bush Sr., who withheld loan guarantees to Israel, one of the very few allies that ever actually pays back its loans, but withheld loan guarantees to Israel. Presidents for years and decades have used leverage to help influence, manipulate, and control policy decisions by foreign governments. And to suddenly prosecute and harass President Trump for wanting to upend or end the corruption in the nation state of Ukraine hardly seems worth the taxpayer dollars spent. But in light of the Thanksgiving aspect, I would like to say that during the last administration, over 200,000 manufacturing jobs were lost under the Obama team. Today, under President Donald Trump, 1.2 million manufacturing jobs have been added. When you think about the number of Americans that have left the labor market under the Obama administration, almost 5 million Americans have left the labor force. Again, today we have 7 million more jobs in America. Under the Obama administration, 10 million people were actually added to the food stamp roll. You and I, our taxpayer dollars, were paying for that. 10 million people added to food stamps during the Obama years. Under President Trump's administration, 7 million people have fallen off the food stamp rolls. I'd like to say, in light of the fact that we have now added 25,000 mining jobs, 128,000 energy jobs, 1.2 million manufacturing construction jobs, on and on the number goes. So today we have the lowest unemployment rate that the United States has had in over 51 years. And in addition to that, we see minority groups working more than ever before. African American unemployment has gone way up, Hispanic American unemployment way up, Asian American unemployment way up. And we expect, the Trump administration expects, and I say we, the American people, it's my understanding that we can all expect that the number of jobs that have increased with regards to American women will soon reach an historic high. I would like to thank not only God, but I'd like to thank President Trump for bringing Americans home after being tortured and held in prison in foreign countries, and bringing back jobs, high employment, higher wages, less regulations, and giving people in this country a leg up. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you to all of you. We appreciate you tuning in each and every day. For those of you that don't know, we're a very independent broadcast. We're not supported by any one particular group, and we need your help. Would you please make a tax-deductible contribution to help us pay the bills? You can, again, it's tax-deductible, make it out to the Middle East Initiative, my 501c3 educational foundation, the Middle East Initiative, P.O. Box 82162, Bakersfield, California, 93380. And I want to encourage all of you to say hello to Ralph Frugaletti, the owner there at Frugati's Restaurant. Frugati's Restaurant continues to rank number one in all of the Italian restaurants here in the San Joaquin Valley, Central California, and I believe it was last year even in Southern California. So go to Frugati's Restaurant. They're on Coffee Road between Stockdale Highway and Hageman, and say hello to Ralph Frugaletti. And now let's go to our Anatase commercial, and I want to, be sure I say thank you to Scott Baker for continuing to support the independence and free speech of the Denise Gary Show.
President Trump has correctly stated that economic security is national security, and in the Tehachapi Mountains of Kern County resides a United States defense contractor, Anatase Products. Here is the Silicon Valley of the aerospace industry, right here in East Kern. Anatase Products is a forward-leaning manufacturer and distributor of hardware sold to major defense and aerospace companies. We're talking about Boeing, Lockheed Martin, United Technologies, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon General Electric, and on the list goes, as well as to every United States ally worldwide, including Israel, America's most important strategic ally in the Middle East. And for everything that flies, Anatase Products is providing the parts. And with me today is the president of Anatase Products, Scott Baker. Hi, Scott.
How you doing?
Scott, tell us why you believe this corner of Kern County is the hub of the aerospace industry.
Well, this portion of Southern California here out in the Antelope Valley, it contains, some of the most cutting-edge technology going on in aviation today. We have some of the UCAS programs with unmanned technologies going on. We have Edwards Air Force Base out here who's doing continual testing in their area. We have the Naval Weapons Station up there at China Lake doing some fantastic cutting-edge stuff, cruise missile technology, and those things are going on. We have Scale Composites locally doing a lot of composite technology, which is new. We have SpaceX, which is a private one private entity putting things into space now. This area is the growth center for aviation's future, and this is the area I think that as a nation we need to be concentrating some of our effort and taking this technology. And as we all know, with the space program from Apollo years ago, out of these technologies, we the private sector are going to reap some of the benefits of that.
Thank you, Scott. Ladies and gentlemen, Scott Baker, president of Anatase Products. Anatase Products, located in the beautiful mountains of Tehachapi, California, in eastern Kern County, is home to some of the most innovative and specialized technologies in the world, including those at the U.S. Naval Air Warfare Center, Weapons Division at China Lake, Edwards Air Force Base, as well as Stratolaunch, launching satellites capable of delivering multiple orbits in a single flight to space. And it is Anatase Products that has provided the manufactured devices, and the president, Scott Baker of Anatase Products, Marine Corps veteran, reactivated on 9/11 to monitor threats to the homeland, is carrying on a tradition of providing for the security of the United States by manufacturing every kind of fastener on anything that flies, as well as providing a full testing destructive laboratory. Contact Anita's Products, now in business for 30 years, at 661-822-6873, located at 1314 Goodrich Drive in Tehachapi, for your manufacturing and testing needs today.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, I just want to thank you for listening to the Denice Gary Show. Please make that tax-deductible contribution. It is needed. You can do so by writing your check or sending a money order to the Middle East Initiative, P.O. Box 82162, Bakersfield, California, 93380. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. We'll see you next time on the Denice Gary Show. This is Denice signing off.